We are talking about Dancing with the Stars, and after the first round of dancing, the celebrity dancers need to step up their game a little bit. So how do they do in round two? What I answer those questions? Our experts are in the house, former Bengal Ann Reynolds and dance instructor Mario Krzyzewski with us this morning. How y'all doing this morning?
Doing great.
In a general sense, did we have high expectations here because all these contestants had been on the show before, and are they living up to this point to those expectations?
You know, Dan, I kind of love this show and I hate this show. And you know why?
It's a love-hate.
You know why? Because it's nobody to make fun of.
That's
Yeah?
You know, but on the other end, you can see a huge difference between the winners of season number 3 and 4 and the winners of the season number 12 and whatever after.
Yeah,
So,
because I think in
good
general
show.
the dancing has become better and better as the show has progressed.
And that's what makes it so tough for some of the ones from the beginning seasons, and we're seeing them struggle a little bit.
All right, let's roll some of the highlights, and we start with Sabrina. Okay, so an unusual choice of music, I think. A little hard rock song. Is this a foxtrot?
This is actually a quick step.
A quick step.
But what I loved about it is the fact that she just kind of was able to go from being very quick and sharp to very graceful. She is such a natural dancer. And Sabrina, most people go, well, who is she again? And she was the Disney star from several seasons ago who got kicked off early. She was one of the best on her season, and she just didn't get the votes one week and got sent home. So I think we're seeing her come back really strong. She wants to win this whole thing and prove that she deserved to win her season.
Do they get points for their costumes? Because I think her dress is fantastic.
No, I don't. No, I don't.
You don't like the dress?
No, I like the dress,
Okay,
but
all
no
right.
points for the costumes. You know, definitely.
I'd give her a point for that. That's pretty good.
Definitely last night, the night of the youngsters, you know, Sabrina on the top, the Shawn Johnson on the top, and actually kind of reverse. Last week we had 2 boys on the top, I think Jules and Emmett, and this week 2 girls on the top, so it's kind of different.
All right, and next up is Shawn Johnson. So Shawn Johnson got a pretty good score last night, and what do you think of this dance?
I love her dancing. I mean, I just think that she's just a little spark of energy. She's, of course, an Olympic gymnast, so she's going to be a perfectionist. She's one of the ones that came out from last week. She won her season a few years ago, and she was not even in the top 3 last week. So you could just see the, aggression in her eyes when she was like, I'm coming out, I'm going to be the top of this. She still was not the top, though, even though this was a very strong jive. For me, sometimes she looks a little over-rehearsed, and I think that's just from the gymnastics side of it. I can appreciate that. I was a competitive gymnast growing up. So I think sometimes she's missing out a little bit on the connection. She needs to work on that some of the other dancers bring. But overall, she's very on point. Yeah,
I look at 25 points for this dance, and I'm thinking that score, the judges are now being a lot more critical because of what they've done before.
Correct. You know, very young-looking... I'm sorry, very young looking jive. I think, you know, she's safe tonight.
Yeah. So what were the flaws there that got her a 25 point? I thought it should have been a little bit higher.
You know, I think the judges are still kind of a caution with their scores. You know, I think 26 was yesterday the highest one.
Yeah, so she was only 1 point
They don't
off.
want to they don't want the scores to be too high this early on.
But now they have the half points, and that's the only thing they've added new to the All-Stars is that half points, and it really does make a big difference on where they fall.
All right, maybe a little disappointment last night, Lachey.
Barely stuttered out a joke of a romantic stuff to my
So here's a guy that won his season, Lachey, and what's going on with him?
You know, he won the season number 2, if I'm not mistaken. Jive as well last night. And again, big difference between the dancers from the previous seasons and now. Maybe just because of the break of a few years.
Yeah.
But, you know, overall not bad. It's just, you know, I think based on everybody else, he can be in trouble again today.
That's the unfortunate thing, is we love him here. He's our hometown guy, kind of from the Cincinnati area, and it's just missing a little bit of the quality and finesse that some of the other dancers have that came in the later seasons. So hopefully people will keep him through, but being that he was in the bottom 2 last week and the person with the lowest score is very well liked, it may put him back there again.
All right, lowest score of the night, Bristol Palin. Yeah, I'm not buying what she's selling here. No. It doesn't seem like she's really into it that much.
No, you know, kind of like one of my students, Joanne, will say, close but not cigar. You know, I didn't get the idea of this country western quick step, I will say. You know, I think the song was the Redneck Woman, and she said, you know, yes, I'm kind of redneck, which is fine, whatever. But you know, you should keep in the character, and I didn't get it. Only 18 last night. Maybe she'll be in trouble, but I doubt it.
She wasn't in the bottom 2 last week. And the thing about Mark, her partner, he does this. He's done this in several seasons. He kind of skips that this is a quick step, and he just goes for what are the people at home going to love? What's going to be entertaining? And I think he did this last night. She was probably struggling with all of the quick step. It's very difficult. And he just made up totally different choreography to. They lost points with the judges. We'll see if they get it from
Okay, so
home.
she's in trouble. Who else do you think, very quickly?
I will say Drew, maybe even Kelly Monaco. She only had 22.
Drew?
I'm afraid it's going to be Drew. And, Kelly Monaco, those soap opera fans,
Yeah.
they are diehards.
All right, we got the recap show tonight at 8, and then we see the elimination results at 9 o'clock on ABC 22. We'll break it down again tomorrow. Mario and Ann, thank you very much.
Thank
you.
Okay, take it away.